The Tao of Self-Confidence, Episode 56. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of real women producing extraordinary results by finding their inner journey to self-confidence 5 days a week. Get your free audiobook at our website at thetaoofselfconfidence.com. Hello, friend. Welcome to the Tao of Self-Confidence, where I share stories of amazing women who have discovered their inner journey to self-confidence. I'm your host today, Sheena Yap Chan. And today I have a special lady who's, currently living in Las Vegas. She is a online business coach, and, we've met a couple of times at events, and, she's just one of the sweetest women you will ever meet. And, I just wanted to have her on the show because I know she has a story that, you can be inspired to take action in your own lives, to start, your journey to self-confidence. So without further ado, I'd like you to introduce you to Thuy Straight. Thuy, how are you doing today? Maybe you can fill in a little bit more about yourself to the listeners.
I'm doing wonderful. Thanks for the introduction, Sheena. So, yes, my name is Thuy Straight, and I've been doing online or business in general for about 7 years now on my entrepreneurial journey. And I got online recently, and I started with advertising, really. And after that, I found that I really love helping people one-on-one. So I actually went over to business coaching as my main business.
So what is your cultural background?
My cultural background, I was born in Vietnam and raised in the United States. I'm actually Vietnamese and Irish.
Oh, and I didn't even know you were part Irish. I've seen you so many times.
I'm part Irish. My grandfather came over during the Vietnam War, and that's how I'm part Irish.
Wow, it's amazing when you learn something new about somebody. It's just something awesome, I guess, to hear. I never would have expected you were part Irish. I always thought you were just pure Vietnamese. So, Thuy, what is your favorite self-confidence quote?
My favorite self-confidence quote is, "Shine as brightly as you can." And it's my favorite quote just because it's so true. Don't hide yourself and just be excited to express your true, authentic self as loudly as you possibly can.
Awesome. And I like that because, especially for Asian women, we're always told not to shine. We're always told to be in the background and not make any noise. And it's 2015. It's time for women to get out there and just be able to be who they really are, right? Because when you try to be somebody else, you're just trapped in this box, right? And you feel like you can't get out. So, I really love that quote that you mentioned. And in your own words, how would you define self-confidence?
I would say that self-confidence is loving yourself for everything that you are and coming to the world with your true, authentic expression of self and not apologizing for it.
Thanks. I know. I think as women, we're prone to apologize for everything.
Yes.
I don't know if it's we've been ingrained to just apologize. Even if we accidentally bump into somebody, it's not it was intentional, but little things like that, we have to be aware, what makes us sorry for it. It's not it happened on purpose, right?
Exactly. And I think it makes us drown ourselves out and be timid. But I see it from so many women that, it's stop apologizing. There's nothing to apologize for. You just open the door and, the other person try to get in at the same time.
Yeah, people don't realize these small little actions can really affect your life and the way you see things. So I'm really glad you mentioned that. And what was your life like before your discovery of self-confidence?
Well, before my discovery of self-confidence, I always sought validation from people around me. I was hesitant to act on my own beliefs and intuition and live a life designed for others. My parents wanted me to grow up and be a doctor or a lawyer. That's what they defined as successful. And I've actually found that my own success has come through business and entrepreneurship. So while I was living for everyone else, I felt really empty and unfulfilled, and I felt like I went through a lot of unnecessary struggles and roadblocks that I had to overcome to get where I am today. But I'm grateful that I did experience those things because I feel like it also molded me into what I am today. So I take every experience as a benefit.
Thank you. And I think we have to go through these hurdles or these obstacles or these life experience just to realize how we can overcome it, how we can become stronger, and be open to, different ways of living life, right? Like for you, being an entrepreneur, right? Instead of being a doctor or a lawyer as your parents wanted you to, right? And, parents, they don't mean to want you to be a doctor for no reason, right? I mean, they have the best intentions for you, but sometimes they don't understand maybe what you're doing. I don't know if you've ever experienced that.
Absolutely. And I actually wanted to share a story that brings up my recent trip to Seattle when I went back home after school started for my son. I went to visit, and the most miraculous thing happened. They saw me, and they were so grateful to see me because it'd been about 2 years, and we just had a normal discussion. I told them what I was doing with my life and where I was at, that I was no longer working, because for a time I was telling them, yeah, I'm working a stable job, just so that they wouldn't question me and kind of throw me off my path. But I finally came out with it and told them what I was really doing, and all they had to say was, wow, I'm so happy for you that you found success. Like, that's all we really wanted. And when I heard those words, it was like this huge weight lifted off of me. So it's something that, I think that they want the best for you, and really they just want to see you succeed. And after seeing it manifest in my life, now they're happy to support it.
That's an awesome story, because, sometimes also as, parents, right, they don't really understand what you're doing until they have to see it, right? And there's some people out there who just need to see it before they believe it. Mm-hmm. And as entrepreneurs, we're the same. We're actually the opposite, right? We already believe it before we see it, right? And, sometimes, it's like a battle sometimes, but, the more you keep doing it, the more you just keep showing up, and as people close to you see what you're doing, they'll understand, they'll come to terms with it. Sometimes they might not understand it at that time, but they see what you're doing and they know you're doing something different that could be better, right? And as parents too, right? Like, they don't know any better because of how they were raised as well. So I think it's always important to bring that up, because I know, everything that, parents do, they do it for the intention of, just having a great life, right? Because they don't want you to go through hardships that they went through back in the past. And sometimes we have to go through these hardships, right? So we can become a better person. So Thuy, what was like your aha moment when you realized, you didn't need validation from anybody, that you could be your own person, you can, have your own definition of success?
Well, my aha moment that really started driving this whole adventure of entrepreneurship and living for myself was one day during my 2-hour commute to my job at a Fortune 500 company, I got struck by a double-decker city bus and a car. And my car was shoved under a semi-truck. And after being rescued from my vehicle and looking at the gray Seattle sky in a neck brace, the only thing I could think to myself was, thank God I kissed my boys goodbye before I left the house. And it was in that moment that it was crystal clear to me that though money was great and though I was making a lot of it at the time, I wasn't happy and I wasn't leaving the impact that I wanted to make on this world and not spending the time with the people that I love most, which is my family, my husband and my son. So that was really the moment that was a life and death moment that really made everything crystal clear, that set me on my path to being more confident, being interested in actually going through with my intuition and being brave enough to follow that and seeing where that would get me. And now I get to help people every day make a business online that they love.
I'm so sorry that happened to you, like in such a a
yes.
crazy way, being like shoved, your car was shoved under a bus, or?
It was struck by a double-decker city bus, and then I was shoved under a semi-truck on the right-hand side of me.
Oh my gosh.
So, the right-hand side, luckily I didn't have passengers and everything was okay there, but it took that to, I guess, wake me up from a daze of, thinking that my job, a good paying job, was the right answer for me. And it wasn't, because I felt like I had so much more bottled inside that was ready to be let loose.
Wow. And, what's your life like now after that huge realization?
After that realization, my life has been amazing. I've been able to travel. I also get to spend time with my husband and son. As I mentioned, they're my top priority. And I also get to make a lasting impact in people's lives, that they also get to create a business and a life that they really enjoy and have fun with every single day.
Thanks for sharing that. And, you know, it is amazing when you can help people out there live the life that they choose, right? It's just, you know, it's this great feeling when you can wake up and they come up to you and they're like, thank you for doing this. You know, if it wasn't for you, I don't know where I'd be, or, you know, just that gratification, right? Just to help somebody and being able to get paid for it too at the same time, right?
Exactly.
Like being the go-giver and just receiving what you get in return. So, you know, I'm really glad everything like worked out for you, and you know, to the woman who's listening to your story, right, she's inspired, she's also in her own journey, and maybe she's facing some of the things that you used to face before you had your discovery. What would be that one tip you would give to her in her own journey?
I would give to her, just love yourself and stop apologizing for being you. And life is short, so you can't spend it pleasing everybody, because there's no way that you're able to please everyone. And it's time to live for you. I actually said this to someone recently, but I told them it's time to be a little selfish so that you can get to know yourself truly and get honest with yourself, so that you can fill yourself up to a point where you can be selfless and give all that back out, all that abundance and all that love that you found for yourself, and share it.
I like that. That's a great tip, right? I mean, we've been told not to be selfish all the time, right? As women, we have to learn to give, and give. But, you know, that can be draining when you're not getting anything in return. And sometimes you do have to be selfish, right? If you want to take that trip, you know, to the beach by yourself, go ahead and do it. If you want to get your nails done, go ahead and do it, because you still got to take care of yourself, right?
Exactly.
And in order to be better, you got to, you know, look after yourself first, so that you have that strength and courage and kindness to give to others. So, you know, I really love that tip you gave. And Thuy, if the listeners wanted to get to know a little bit about you and your services and what you do, is there a website or any social media profiles we can link with?
So I have Facebook, which I'm pretty active on, and it's facebook.com/Thuy.straight. It's spelled THUY.STRAIGHT. And the site that I'm building with trainings and things that I'm really focused on giving back to the community is drivenbyimpact.com.
Can't wait to check out that website. So to the listeners out there, if you want to check out Thuy's profile and newly launched website, just head on over to the taoofselfconfidence.com and search for Thuy's name. Her show notes will pop up along with everything else we talked about. I just want to thank Thuy for taking the time to share her story. I mean, you know, I'm still shocked about the accident that happened, but I'm just glad you came out of it stronger than ever. So thank you for sharing your story with us.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me, Sheena.
Not a problem. I'm more honored that you were able to take the time to do this. And to the listeners out there, be on the lookout for another new episode of another woman's amazing journey to self-confidence, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye for now. Thank you for joining us at the Tao of Self-Confidence. Head over to the taoofselfconfidence.com for full recaps of every show, our amazing blog articles and resources, and just plain fun. Your inner journey to self-confidence awaits, so start today.